Are we doing this? Having a nice little neck rub there, Steve. T-Rex, you ready to start your day? Oh, he was a little hesitant there. 71 degrees at 6:15, June 6th, new moon. This is the warmest start we've had to a day so far in 2024. There's a serious warm front. Oh boy, is it serious. A lot of seriousness today. June 6th, the anniversary of what was called Operation Neptune in Normandy, France, in World War II. Became known as D-Day, so I was curious about that. When the military planned an invasion, they called it Day. And so D-Day just became an abbreviation for probably the most horrendous day in most of our great-grandfathers' lives. Operation Neptune. We're kind of like Operation Neptune here today. Oh, look, they're crossing paths. Steve is all excited over something. Where to start? About with the flag. And I do realize, Chris, this is zooming into the Heron landing at very low tide. Two of them. And the microphone on the other side of the camera is working. And yes, I'm wearing a headset. Now, I zoom back out for this flag, which is very still, along with these flags. And the microphone in the front works. And yes, I'm wearing a headset, but I hear this microphone doesn't work. So, responding to comments now. Thank you, Chris. I want more information. My email is tkelly.wx@gmail.com. If anybody wants to email me. Where do we start in the weather department? How about last evening? Storms moving from north to south. Severe storms in Maine and New Hampshire. This picture from Dover, New Hampshire, just before sunset. Also, KT left a comment that she got 2 inches of rain in Portsmouth in a very short time. Storms moving north to south. Very unusual to get that much hail and rain. Usually those storms come in from the west. And I think we can still blame that upper level low that went by a week ago this morning. It stalled and it's still out there on our side of Newfoundland this morning. There it is on the Ocean Prediction Center chart. And also it says developing gale. Developing gale is talking about a wave on a warm front that is south of Long Island right now. Look at the radar. You get, looks like 3 spins. One south of Long Island, another in New York, another in Ontario. So much action. And as for that wave on the warm front, guess what it did yesterday? Once in a lifetime weather happens to somebody somewhere every day. And yesterday it was in the Baltimore, Washington area. A really out of nowhere tornado outbreak occurred. Now, there were some saying that, oh, we should have seen that coming. But if I looked at the 500 millibar flow, there was ridging from Chesapeake Bay up the Hudson River Valley. So not much wind way up in the sky at 18,000 feet. That's usually where I'd look for a lot of wind for severe weather. However, Ryan Hanrahan in Connecticut showed the hodograph. That is a vertical profile of the wind. And it was really the bottom 3 kilometers. That's about 2 miles up in the sky. There was about a 30 to 40 knot shear wind from the south right over Baltimore at about 5 miles an hour. And then it was from the southwest up to about 30 to 40 knots, just a couple thousand or less than 2 miles up. So a lot of these storms, you're going to get the wind way up there at like 5 or 6 miles up in the sky, really whipping. But it was really the bottom 2 miles of the sky that played the influence in that really unprecedented, once-in-a-lifetime event. No fatalities we know of. Justin Michaels showed these images this morning from Gathsburg, Maryland. Is that how you say that? Where people were injured when a tree hit their house. And that storm cluster, if you look at the wide scale here of the United States, the most lightning in the entire nation, not in Texas today, but south of Long Island. And it's really going to be a play-by-play on this situation today. Here's the NAM. Did not do a very good job yesterday, did it? Didn't really have those storms in New Hampshire at all. And here it shows the rain mostly missing to the south. Martin, you may get more rain on Nantucket than I get here. It's a meso low-pressure system on a warm front, and there are two cold fronts off to the west, and I don't trust any of this. So you have to just kind of keep an eye on your radar for the next 3 days. Storms come in from the west at sunset tonight. In New York and Vermont, they're decaying, but there could be some severe weather. And then it doesn't show much at all tomorrow, does it? But look at the surface maps from the Weather Prediction Center. This evening, triple point low near Albany, New York. Occluded front meets warm front meets cold front. Tomorrow morning, triple point low right over Boston. Very hot and humid air is possible if the sun comes out tomorrow in Rhode Island and Boston. While to the north and west, much cooler and eventually less humid off to the west behind these cold fronts. But to have a triple point low over you into Saturday morning, it moves up into Maine Saturday. This means all bets are off on when and how intense the rain is going to be, and thunderstorms, and there may be some hail. Yesterday I talked about the lifted index being at -6. So a parcel lifted up to 18,000 feet would be 6 degrees Celsius warmer than its environment. And if you get that parcel to lift, that's where you get your severe weather. And yesterday that did happen. And today the lifted index is about -4, and then it's going up after that. We're going to get positive lifted indexes, but it's going to be so unstable. Now you're going to be looking at low-level convection here off and on over the weekend. As for this initial burst of precipitation today, south of New England and then northern western New England this afternoon and tonight, QPF shows most of the heaviest missing to the south. And then the higher terrain from the Adirondacks to the Green Mountains to the White Mountains, spots will get an inch or two. And I think there's more likely going to be lollipops of 3 inches in a few spots. But right here near my house, the guidance shows less than 0.05 for Boston. Again, I don't really trust it. You've seen what's happened in the last 24 hours. Oh, interesting. The air is just picking up from the northeast a little bit here right now. So there's a... All right, zoom in. Because we love these things. This isn't just weather. It's birds and nature. Neptune, the Roman god of the seas. Operation Neptune anniversary. All about the water. All right, zoom back out. You can hear me better again. Upper level low is coming in here, and it's going to stall over the weekend. Yesterday it looked like Sunday was going to be the drier day. Now it looks like Saturday might be the drier day, and we're going to keep going back and forth on this. Here is the euro showing, you can't really see it, but there's a triple point low and a warm front low going right over southern New England. And then we get the rapid cooling aloft Saturday into Sunday, with the showers scattered Saturday, more prevalent. Looks like a little wave trying to form on Sunday crossing southern New England. Don't really trust this. And then Monday, looks like there's still some scattered showers. And then remember what we showed yesterday on Tuesday? There was a storm coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Looked like a tropical low going right over Cape Cod. Well, guess where it goes now? Closer to Bermuda. Add them up and divide by 2. Eagle. Turkey vulture. Turkey vulture, right? Or eagle. Don't know, but it's as close as I've ever been. Say you, Martin. They don't eat cats, do they? If it's an eagle, it's a young one. I'm kind of more inclined to think it's a turkey vulture. Exhale. So much going on. So fascinated by everything. Operation Neptune, that was me yesterday. I think I've done enough here. Watching the waters, the sky, the temperature going up, up, up. Saw 90 on my dashboard, but Boston only got to about, 86. So still waiting for the first 90-degree day in Boston. And if not for these clouds and an onshore flow, would be close to it next 48 hours. Anyhow, watching the sailboat races late in the day. It was a very fun, filling, observational day. And Mike, the proprietor of a small engine, outboard engine repair shop / museum, rivaling the one we saw on Martha's Vineyard a month ago with the dories and the old boats. This one is the same kind of vintage small outboard engine. Thank you for the tour, Mike. And just extraordinary. So a little time lapse from yesterday. Egrets today. Very low tide. New England Longboard Surf Competition Classic is Sunday. I'll do a surf cast later today. It's sinking air over there, over the ocean. I don't think it has much to do with the orographics today. I just think it has to do with the weather systems coming in from the west. Substantial thunder shower storm just missed us to the west a short time ago, but it's a serious amount of smoke coming from what looks like, I don't know, what's just north Somerville area maybe? What's going on up there? Everything okay? What's going on? Warming up. It's a humid front coming in. A humid front. Good weather for starting the stand-up paddleboard season. I used to be the four-season guy, but not so much anymore. I'm going through the jungle to the ocean. Every step is precarious on this one. Yeah, no problem with those steps, huh? Sure. Easy on that pallet. Woo. And then, shazam! There's the water right there. Boom! Danny's like, he's just back from Italy where it's like summertime. And he says, it's a little chilly. Yeah, but you'll be warm. That was fun. We went down to almost to the Four River Bridge. About a half hour, 45 minutes, and Danny just jumped in the water, which is probably in the low 60s, I would guess. There he is. What's the water temperature?
42 degrees.
I think I get the point. It's a little chilly compared to Europe, huh? The pools, those rooftop pools in Italy. Man playing with rocks. Who needs to go to a gym when you got boulders to throw around? 1:30 update into the 80s. It was not so warm when we were paddling a couple hours ago, but it was cloudy, and now the sun has broken through and it is very warm in the low 80s and becoming more humid by the second. Quite nice. Ripe for more thunderstorm development. We've achieved hot here in New England too, Chuck, in Scottsdale, Arizona. The water's not even coming out. There it is. Green toes, green everything. Playing, Celtics are playing tomorrow night. Go green. Playoffs start so late, don't they? It's ridiculous. Anyhow, this is the state of the pollen after a day or two. Yummy. So Some of us are getting downpours to wash it off. Resistance is futile. You will be pollinated. Hey, Matt, you want to be out the door today? Great. It's 4 o'clock. And the sign says 87 degrees with the chance of a thunderstorm. I concur. It's warm, it's sticky, and there are some tall clouds way out there on the horizon. Recharging the battery, fueling up the electric mower. I was torn whether to bag or not. I think this is really actually good fertilizer, these clovers, but I also like to have worm chow. So I was torn on the bagging or no bagging. Next week, no bagging. I kind of in a small engine museum over here, and all these run and they're all for sale. The newer, I think, are less expensive than the older. Look at this collection. Wow. Look at this one. Beautiful. So anyhow, there's some 3 and 4 horsepowers right over here. 3 horsepower Evinrude, 4 Johnson, a couple of Mercuries down there. Generally these go about $400 to $500. And the vintage are vintage prices too. That is a turkey vulture, I believe. And the top of the cloud is coming off the coast of New Hampshire. There's the osprey, kind of gliding in that wind that just picked up dramatically. Oh, dashboard says 90, live at 5. If Boston hit 90 at Logan Airport, it's the first one of the season. Let's go find some spinnakers and some towering cumulonimbus. Wow, moving pretty much north to south. Don't often see severe thunderstorms moving in that direction out of Maine. And the top's blowing off east of Boston right now, where it's warm to hot. Sailboat race just about to get underway. There they go. All right, passing 6:30. I'm assuming the sailboat race has begun. It's warm to hot. I'm mostly done mowing, waves in the lawn. And let's go and try and zoom in on the sailboat race. Yes, thank you, Chris, on the difference between zoom in and zoom out. I had it backwards. All right, so we're zooming in, and that means the microphone on the back side's gonna work now. Visibility restricted due to pollen in the air. The mating life of trees. I just brought the tripod in and I was putting it away, ready to call it a night. I look out and the race course rarely comes this close to the house. So let's zoom in and do another little time lapse. Never ends, does it? TK and is in more and more and more. It's just too fun. Especially if some of you guys are watching this. And we have spinnakers. That green channel marker is a mark for the sailboat race to turn around it. And then the spinnakers go up. This is beautiful. It's been a bit of a choppy, about another 7-minute time lapse. All right, so now I'm gonna zoom out and you're gonna hear me a lot more clearly now as I zoom out and try and call it a day. I just can't stop. More cloud waves. That flag's getting a little lazy from the southwest now. The thunderstorms in Maine are diminishing. I haven't even looked at what's coming at southern New England yet. And once again, Steve and the pollen on the table. Yeah, Steve, I know. All right, let's call it a night already. Carrots, I know. What a night. Hey, Kevin, good job. That was a great race tonight. As a spectator, I really enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. How'd you do? And I opened the door for a second, and look what happens. Very frustrating. Created a monster. Where'd he go? Steve, come here. Come here right now. Anybody home here? Mind if I go walking in your garden? No downtime when you have kids.